Oh, that's perfect. Oh, we gotta shut the music off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's Friday. Sorry about that little glitch. I forgot to rotate my phone before I hit live, so you might have seen kind of a little start and then a shut off. It was me, so we apologize for that. But like I said, grab an iced tea. You can put your bathing suit on. Mona's going to make you feel like you're on a beach today. Here you go.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm working with honeybees. They had like a beach theme this last release. All these little parts, you can see them. And what was nice, what they did with this one, was they gave you like a blueprint. You can see it. So what I did was I got the... I couldn't find mine. I don't know where I put things some days, but I did get out the Brutus Monroe so I can show you how these parts go so you'll understand it a little better. And then I'll show you my card that I made using this. I'm not 100% sure my technique's correct, but so I'm just going to start with the wave, and the wave has extra parts. The wave has... that's the water, and then this wave piece goes right like this, right on the bottom. Now it's not going to stick because I don't have the sticky, but just so you can see. It goes like that. And then it also has this piece and one more. You can see they're tiny. What I like about all this paper piecing and everything is that you can use all these little scraps that you got laying around, and you get to use them up. That's upside down, but that's how that goes. And you can see it right here. The chair was a little tricky for me, but let me get it off the mat here. Here's the chair. I love the chair. It's like one of my fave. And then the chair has a seat part, or the canvas part. You know how those beach chairs are. And that's going to go right like that. And then it has one more little part, and I hope I'm doing it right, because I get confused every time I do it. But see how it is? That's going to go over like this. So it'll go like that. And there's your beach chair. So you got 3 pieces for the beach chair. And it shows it. 1, 2, 3. The next thing we're going to look at is the tree. Now, although they only give you 1 die for the tree, sorry, I got to move some of this stuff. I just cut it twice, and then I cut off the top. So this is my stem, and then I just cut another one, and there is my green top. So there, but I keep it whole. So the base, I always use the full piece. I don't trim it off or anything, and then the top, I just piece. Then there's sand dunes. So let me move this stuff. There's this sand dune, and there's, here, let me get this more in the white for you guys so you see it better. There's that sand dune, and this sand dune. Can't say that 10 times fast. Now, when I look at them, I always get confused, but you'll see in this picture, big, okay? So then you go to the little pieces, and this little piece here goes right there. Now you could two-tone it in browns or beiges or whatever to make it, more sandy-ish, or you could use your distressing tool. And then this one goes like this. So there's your 2 sands. Or you could use the little one separate too. It doesn't matter. It's entirely up to you. We also have sky, and there's 3 pieces to the sky. I'm going to move this down just for a second so you can see. There's 1 cloud piece, 2 cloud piece, and there's 1 more in here somewhere. Very tiny, but there is 1 more that I don't see for some reason anywhere. Oh, there it is, hiding on the envelope. And then there's this cloud. So you got 3 clouds. You get one large seagull, and he's flying to the right. You get one small seagull, and he's flying to the left. Okay. You get the sun. Okay, we'll put that right there. And you get a sun shadow. Whoops. Which goes sort of like this. We'll see, it goes right about there. And this goes here, like that. Okay? You get the 2 different fences, and I'm just going to pop out the little pieces that I forgot to pop out. I mean, all this cut very nicely on my trimmer. I mean, my die machine. No problems. I do use a heavier weight, as I've probably told you a million times. I usually use about 110 pounds. So sometimes I have to go through twice, but not all the time. So the fence can go this way, or the fence can go this way. Entirely up to you. Put that chair piece back like that. And then there's another one. It can go left, right, left. Once again, upside down, right side up. That's entirely up to you. No rules or regulations. You know, when you're making your scene, you're making your scene. I'm almost done poking out these pieces. Okay. Whew. One more to go. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And that one could go like that, or you could even trim it off and make it smaller. So there you go there. They give you 3 pieces of grass or plants or vegetation. I don't know what you want to call it. So there's 1, 2, 3. 3 different sizes. Now I cut them out of 2 different colors because you could take this one and overlap it on this one. You could take this one and overlap it onto this one, or vice versa. And then the last one, once again, you could overlap it. So you could make shades of grass, or you could just use one color. It's entirely up to you, but I usually cut them out in 2 colors. This is just some kind of like beach plant. I'm not exactly sure what they call it. But you get 2 of them, and then you get the coordinating die for the like flower. I mean, it could be anything. I was thinking it was more like wheatgrass or something, so I kind of kept it in the browns. There we go. And then last but not least, we also have our little cattails. I love cattails. And they give you 2 cattails, and they give you the 2 things to put on cattails. So that's more or less how everything's assembled. I think I did everything, like the card. Oh, the only thing I forgot was the sailboat. The sailboat's 1 piece, and you just cut it out of whatever you want to cut it out. You could probably make the sails white or something if you wanted, and oh, I didn't do the umbrella either. Sorry. But, you know, they were basically just 1 color, as you can see here. Same with the sailboat. So based on this kind of picture and what I had in my mind, believe it or not, in my stock of paper and scraps and stuff, I found the perfect background. I was so excited. So here's the card I made. I didn't have to do any distressing or anything. This was the piece of paper. It was actually probably a 5.5 by 4 1/4, but I trimmed it down to the 5 1/4 by 4. And this is the piece of paper. Didn't have to do any shading or anything. And this is how my scene came out. I did take my brush like this, and I squeezed it real good so I'd have a lot of liquid on the point, and then I shimmered up my whole card. I think you can see it, how shimmery it is. Just kind of added a little something to it, and I love it. Yeah. So there's the umbrella that I didn't cut out, but there's really no piecing to it. And there's the boat that I didn't cut out, but there's really no piecing to that. So that's this card. Now, the funny thing about this beach scene, They actually have a stamp set too, I think, but if you guys know me, you know I love my dies. What I didn't do is get any words when the set came out. And of course, now Sharon's also allowed of the words. Excuse my reach, I just want to get my clouds out of the way. So yesterday, I was like, I need to put sayings on a couple of these cards I'm making. So I did buy some summertime stamp sets. So on this card, I used Don't Worry, Beach Happy, and this is my favorite thing with all really nice summery sayings. Hope your day is relaxing as a walk on the beach. Sending you sunshine. Happy birthday to my favorite beach bum. So it kind of encapsulates everything. The next card I'm going to show you, I use this one, which is from Poppy Stamps. And this has a whole bunch of cute sayings. And I think on this one I used, let's see if I can find it. Not You're My Soulmate. Was very small, whatever Hello Sunshine? No. Here, let's look at the cards, see what I used. Oh, Summer Vibes is what I used. So wherever that Summer Vibes is, that's what I used. And I think it was on this one. I thought it was. So there's Summer Vibes. And this card, which we're going to talk about next, uses another one of the dies from this, excuse me, honeybee release. But you'll notice that I used one of the seagulls, the palm tree, and the chair to help make this scene. You'll also, I don't know if you can tell very well, if you can see the background, that is another die, and it's a background die, and it's called, pretty sure it's called Waves. Isn't it cool? I think I used it on every single card, but because I liked it so much. So you can see it in there. It just, and I didn't even mat it. I probably should have, but I didn't. So it comes through on the inside. Because I did use the waves here. Can you see them? So with this piece of background paper, I just put it back into the machine and ran the background for this. So so let me move this out of the way. This is so much fun. We do have them on order again. Some of the stuff's already sold out. I did buy this one too, and that's because I'm going to put it on another card. This one's a shaker card that I used with this I forget what they call it. I'll look it up in 1 second. I have it in my envelope. With this particular die. So it's a shaker card, and I think I'm going to put like sunshine or the best summer memories, something like that, and put that on the card because I think that'll be nice. And I'm going to probably put some more little gems on the outside of this card to kind of spiff it up a bit because it's rather plain, but I like making shakers. One of the things I want to tell you is that I used, and Sharon did get more in because they are great, the foam strips from Waffle Flowers. Now, the nice thing about this is, I don't know, can you see how skinny these are? See how skinny these are? This is the 16th height, and this is the 8th. I actually used the 8th, as you can see, but because the strip is so skinny, and it just fit perfectly right in here. So these do come in handy, and the fact that they're pre-cut is just wonderful. And with those skinny ones, you can even do a shape. It's easier to curve them. So everything just worked out wonderfully using these foam strips. So if you don't have them, I would strongly suggest that you get not just the 8th, but the 16th. You can even double them up if you need to. I mean, they have wider strips and narrow strips. You can keep a couple of skinny strips together if you want. But the fact that they're separated like this has just been wonderful. I mean, it was great making the shaker card. Made it so much easier. Excuse me. So what I want to talk about in this particular die, and I'm getting it out for you, and then I'll be able to tell you the name. It is called Ocean Circlescape. So it's this one here. Let's put it back on its thing. There's the die. What And a lot of companies are doing this, so it's not just Honeybee or anybody else. I kind of touched on it when we were when I did something with a gnome card, but I tried two different ways, and I was pleased with both ways. So when I cut this out, and I'm going to call this die a fall apart die, and that's because when you cut it, it falls apart. You can see all these pieces. This is what happens. This is a piece, the little sun was a piece, these are all the waves. Of course, I have mine in assorted colors, but it falls apart. So then it's like, how do I get this back together and not mess up the whole thing? So on this one here, and I'll show you what I did, is I took the die, and I can't cut it here because there's just too many things, but I do have an example. So I took the die. Before I cut it, I took my downy sheet or softener sheet, wrapped it front and back, because I wasn't sure where I wanted my stickum. Then I ran it through the machine. And so when I was done, I could pull off my downy sheet. My fall aparts stayed intact. And then the next thing I did was, and I just want to see what I have already set. Okay, this one's, so you see it's apart, but there's paper here. So what I did, because I could do this now, is I removed the back part because I knew the front part would still stay, and I hope you understand that. Once I removed the paper from the back part, the circle was approximately 3 inches, so I cut a 3-inch circle and glued it on the back. So all my white pieces stayed together. Once it was glued on, then I could release this paper here. And that was using the diaper sheet. Or not diaper sheet, sorry, the softener sheet. So that's how this one was done. I used the softener sheet. I put it on front and back, and then I released the back, and the front stayed together because of the softener sheet. I glued my circle on. Then I could glue it on top and do my layers without, and they just fell into line. So you can see, even on this one, I'll show you. That's this. You can see it just falls right into line. But I am not good at, like, okay, I'll just squeeze it in. And for some reason, every time I do it like that, something's off. So I just like to do it like this. And then, see, there would be my first. And sometimes the last thing I put in is that little circle. And then there's my next. I know I got one for that size here. So there's this. And then they just all line up really nice. So my next thought was, well, I can do it with a softener sheet. So can I do it with the almighty press and seal? So I had the press and seal. Here it is. Same concept. You encase your piece of paper with the press and seal. Put your die on it. Run it through the machine. Take your die off, and the paper should stay there, and then you can peel off all the way around. And then, again, you get this. And this is now the press and seal one. So I can... just got to get one area started. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Let's see. Here's my pick. Oops. Come on. I think the softener sheet comes off a little easier, but then you're just going to peel this off. And after you peel it off, and I'm going to hold it down. Now, the one thing I will tell you, and you need to keep this in mind, is both of them, whether it's the press and peel or, or it's the softener, both of them leave a residue. So you want to keep that in mind. So that's why I don't do it. If this was going to be exposed, I'd probably only put it on one side and hope for the best. But, oops, now I'm pulling it apart. And like I said, the diaper sheet was easier to get off than this. There we go. And even if you didn't peel it all off, so you see how it sticks, you could then, and this is, because this is the wrong side, make sure you're still stuck together. And then just glue this on. And that way you don't have to worry, the front stays intact and it's glued on, and then you can move from there because it'll be all together. You can just add on what you need to add on. I hope that makes sense. You know, I'm still trying to perfect it and get it a little better, but it does work, and it works much better. Press and seal, like I said, it seems to be a little more difficult to get off. The diaper sheets are easier, but both of them do leave a residue. So if you're concerned with that, then only put it on one side. And make sure it's the wrong side or the right side. I would wrong side. But I hope that makes sense. And that way, your fall apart will stay together so that you have a map on how to put your paperwork together. And I hope that makes sense. It's a little confusing. You have to see it from start to scratch, I think, from start to end. But it does work, and it makes things so much easier when you have to put them back together. So you can see there's a little thickness here. I don't know, here or there. A little thickness here. And I just went around the edges, kind of matching the colors so you wouldn't see the white. But this one was done with the diaper sheet. Not the diaper, I'm so sorry. The the Downy sheet. And the circle was glued on the back. And then I was able to peel off the front and then add all my different layers. And all you do is just start layering them in, and it works perfect. So either one will work. I think I'm going to stick to the Downy sheet method only because it seems a little easier to remove than the press and seal. But if you don't have Downy and you want to try the press and seal, go for it. You know, it just makes the whole thing a little easier. I think that's all I have to say for now. I probably am going to add some gems to this, but these were the cards that I more or less started, and two of them need a little more pizzazz. But this was one of the dies I used, and this was called Ocean Circlescape, and Sharon is getting more in.
Yeah, so you can always email or text, let me know that you want one saved for you, and we'll make sure that you get one.
And then this is now I don't know if we have any more of these either. Sharon's going to check, but this was let me tell you the exact name. I think I called it Ocean Waves. Waves Pierced. So close, which is an awesome one. You could use it for all sorts of things. You know, it could be your sky, it could be the waves. In the fall, it could be a nice background, but for the beach cards, it was perfect. So the dies I used, again, were this die, and this die. And this card comes with this die. So this, I think this was called Shoreline Scene Maker. Oh, Shoreline Scene Builder. So these were the ones I used. You can see I have leftover, which I'll probably use for something. Maybe make a couple more of these. Shaker was simple. I wish I would have had the shaker pouch because that would have been even better. I think this was about 3 inches, which is, I'm pretty sure the shaker pouch was about that size. That would have been perfect. use this for splatter, especially if you don't have that Sharon's favorite spray. You can see how nice it goes on. Just splatter it all over. Made a huge difference in this card. Don't forget that I like to use the Brutus Monroe board to help me with my paper piecing so I don't lose all those little pieces. And you can see there's a ton of little pieces there. So don't be afraid to experiment. But if you are ever in the store when I'm here, I'm usually here a couple Fridays a month and one Saturday, and you're not sure about this method I'm talking about, stop me, and I'll explain it all over again to you. But like I said, I think I like the the Downy softener sheet a lot better than I like the press and seal, only because it's easier to remove. The press and seal, I don't even think my blade cut through it. So it cut the paper, which is weird, but it didn't literally cut through all the press and seal. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll show you my word stamps one more time. There was the Echo Park. Oh no, this is Cartabella, sorry. Summer ones. The My Favorite Things summer ones, and I think this is a new release for My Favorite Things. And then this is the Poppy one with just lots and lots. I think I'm covered now for my summer cards. So thank you for watching, and Sharon will see you again tomorrow. Take care.